Surprise!
That worked.
You got surprised, didn't you? You got a little scared, didn't you?
How long have you been working on that intro?
I came up with it so fast. I actually really did think of it in the moment.
Is that right? I feel like
and it was still underwhelming. Oh man, I'm gonna hit Nick with a sick surprise in the morning. You're never gonna see it coming. We're talking about surprises in board games. Let's get it, Brothers Murph time.
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name's Mike.
My name's Nick.
We're the Brothers Murph, man, and we are here popping off in this on another top 10.
Another top 10. I love doing top 10s.
They're so fun, man.
I do enjoy it.
You know who loves top 10s?
Who?
The people.
The people love top 10s.
They love top 10s.
They love top 10s.
They're already skimming past this just to see what number 10 is. They could give a shit about this part.
It's true. But we're gonna talk anyway.
Oh, that's
now, I do enjoy it. It's fun making lists. It's fun watching lists.
I think it appeals to our like survivalist nature. It's like people want to organize, find patterns. These berries are good, these berries are bad, and then we put things. This is better than that. It's just like we're naturally inclined to list things. And
I know.
It's just like something like Watch Mojo makes sense. It's just a channel of lists.
I know. It's
great.
I watched more than I should.
Oh my god, dude! I watched 10 more controversial casting choices the other day, and it was amazing. You know,
that's awesome.
What I got from it is we've done a lot of whitewashing in Hollywood over the years.
Oh yeah,
woo, woo. Maybe don't. All right, folks. So today we're talking. You look different.
No.
Okay. Today we're going to be talking about top 10 surprises in board games. So things that maybe we didn't have the highest expectations going into a game.
Yeah, or we just thought it was going to be something else or something like that. Quick question about how you did your list, though.
Yeah.
Is your list ranked by how much you were surprised or by how much you like the game like afterwards?
More by the surprise.
Okay,
level.
Me too. Okay. I mean, it's fine if you did it differently, but that's how I did mine too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't hear any... How dare you put that 10? I mean, like, it's the surprise. Some games I was...
Because my number 1 is not my favorite game.
Correct, same.
You know what I mean? But it's by how surprised I was by it. Correct. Is what it is, yeah.
I mean, that's why it's a top 10 surprises. Ooh. And yeah, so we, you know, these are all games we quite like. But we like them more than we thought we would. And I think we're focusing on positive...
Yeah. Someday we might do like a top 10 disappointments or something like that.
We're like old bitter board gamers.
Yeah, we're just
like burned so many times.
You know, we're like, what are the guys in the Muppets who are up in the balcony?
Oh, Waldorf and Statler.
Waldorf. I'm like, this game is terrible. We'll do like that, you know?
Some people say it's meeples. I say it's shit. I don't know. They always have puns. I'm not a pun guy. I love them, but I'm not that fast. So we're going to get right into our top 10 surprises.
We are. So why don't we start it off?
About now.
10.
Lit. All right. The age-old important question we never determined beforehand. Who's going first right now?
Whoever says ass first.
Ass. Oh, man.
You go first. That's how we usually do.
All right, man. My number 10, my 10th most surprise is, hey, over here. Give me a slice over here.
I was like,
New York slice.
I was like,
it's my New Yorker.
Godfather?
My New Yorker. Hey, over here.
New York slice. It's on my list. I thought about it though.
You know, it's the just snuck
you're pushing it out. Give me a special.
Hey, you want to give me a special? You never give me a special. Give the guy. Hey, he's on a diet. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be all the pepperoni. All that sodium. So
sodium content in that one idea.
New York Slice is my number 10. Simply because I'm surprised that there's a game.
It exists.
Like, I saw this game at conventions, and I was always asking him, like, what's the pizza thing? And Nick's just like, you like are just trying to get like pizza. And I'm like, there's no way that's engaging, but I also super wanted to
super
play.
down for sure.
I'm like, is there a game really about pizza that actually works and is fun?
Yeah.
And there is a game that's about pizza.
Yeah.
You just make a pizza and you slice it out, and guy says, "Hey man, hey, well, you know a little bit for me. Let me get a slice."
Yeah. You're trying to get majorities and stuff. Yeah.
Well, give me the meat. You know, I'm a supreme guy. And you're just trying to get like the majorities of each type, and so it's just a I split, you choose, you cut up the pizza, you give out the pizza, and I'm just so surprised that like
it's great.
It's actually fun, and like the thematics which we've gushed about so many times is just like so like the box is a pizza box, and like the score pad is a menu or is a like an order
an order sheet,
and then the rule books is a menu. It's just so fully into its theme.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That like I'm just like bam. I was surprised that on top of all the theme, it actually is fun to play. And we totally. So New York Slice is my number 10.
It is great. Again, I had thought about it. I decided to go with something else, but I had thought about it.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 10. So this is kind of like it's 2 games, and the 2 games aren't related, but it's kind of a category one. But so my 2 games are Scythe / Terraforming Mars.
Okay.
Now, again, those games are not analogous. They're not similar really at all. But what it... So what the reason why I paired these 2 together, because the reason I was surprised was the same reason. And because I was going into these games with a lot of bias, a lot of anti-hype bias, where like I was like, because Terraforming Mars and Scythe, people were like, oh, they're so amazing, and I hadn't played one yet, and I was just kind of like, it's not that good, like it's not that good, like there's no way it's nearly as good as people say it is.
Can't be.
And Terraforming Mars is probably my top 10, definitely top 20. Scythe is probably my top 25, 30 or so, I'd say. It might climb by the time we do our top 100.
They must both be higher.
I don't know. We'll see. It's possible. It's definitely possible. But and we played the games where, like, especially Terraforming Mars really was just like, man, this is really, really good. Like from the moment we first played, I was like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised. And again, the reason I put it in my number 10, because like I shouldn't have been surprised.
Yes.
Like, they have that hype around them for a reason. And some games are overhyped, and just because a game is hyped doesn't mean you're going to like it or I'm going to like it. But it's like, you probably hyped for a reason.
Yeah.
And so that's why I put that as kind of like a category of, like, really hyped games.
I like that.
That I just, like, was like, okay, I'm really surprised that I like this, but I really shouldn't have been. So that's my number 10. So Terraforming Mars, Scythe. If I had to choose one, I'll go ahead and put Terraforming Mars, because I was probably a little more surprised about that. When we first played it. But yeah, so that's my number 10, Scythe / Terraforming Mars. Just because I was just being that, like, it's not that good kind of person.
No, dude. I'm an indie gamer.
Yeah.
All right, that's our number 10. Let's get into number 9.
Boom. Alrighty. My number 9. I don't even know how to describe this game, but my number 9 is a game called Decrypto.
Yes. Oh, man. Good call, dude.
That's on your list? I figured it'd be on your list, too. Decrypto is... how do you describe Decrypto? It's kind of deduction. It's deduction.
It's in the password ballpark.
It's like a mix of like a social deduction game and like code names, kind of, in a weird way.
Yes, it's like, oh man, it's very tricky.
Basically, there's 2 teams.
Yes,
and you each have 4 words, and you're trying to give your team clues to those words, and so I honestly don't know how to describe it, but it's a very weird game, and it's a kind of game that stresses me out. Because social deduction games in general stress me out, and I like them to a degree.
But this is nice because you're on teams, not one person.
It's on team, but that's the other part that stresses me out, because it's in my own head, but for some reason, I always think that I'm a really crappy clue giver, and I'm really not that bad at it. No. But for some reason, in my head, I'm always like, I'm the worst at giving these kind of clues. Okay. So going into a game like that, I always am super stressed out, because I feel like I'm going to lose the game for everybody if I'm on a team.
Okay.
And then this is like social deduction plus... like me in my head being a crappy clue giver, and dude, that is like perfect storm of stress for me.
Yeah. And
we were at a convention, we were playing with Z Garcia and a couple other people. We played with Chris Yee and Wendy Yee from Meeple Overboard, who were wonderful. Chris Yee, Wendy Yee. But so we played this game, and I was very much like, okay, I'll play, because I didn't want to say
be the anchor drag.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the person saying no to the entire group.
All right.
But I was going into it dreading it. And it's not my favorite game ever, but I was very pleasantly surprised when we played. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun, and I really enjoyed it. But I thought going into it, I was like, this is going to be the worst experience of my life. I was like super not into that game, because it's just a whole perfect storm of stress for me, that kind of game. And again, ultimately, the stress is all invalid. But for some reason, before a game like that, I just get stressed out. But it's like a social deduction, word guessing game.
You're trying to guess a sequence. You have 4 words, and you'll have like a card that has. You need to give clues for words 1, 3, and 4. So you have to give 3 clues, like Abraham Lincoln, pickles, cat, and people like then look. And they know, like, the people on the team know which words they are. So they're like, okay, I think that could be the first one. This could be the third and fourth. So they say 1, 3, 4. And I'm like, yeah, that's the sequence.
Yeah.
And the other team is writing down the clues you gave. And they
He's
say,
describing
okay.
it well.
So there was 1, 3, and 4 that are these 3. So they try to figure out, and you get ultimately like 5 or 6 clues that they all see are kind of in the same area. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what word 1 is, but I know that all of these clues pertain to word 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And you try to guess the other team's sequence.
Exactly. Try to guess the other team's sequence, and then
really
you get bonus points if you guess the other team's word.
Yes.
And it was really fun, but I was going into that game, I was like, nope. Nope, don't like this game.
And that's a game that, like, I think we benefited by playing with really fun people.
Yes, true.
Because no one in that game, I think in probably most games, can walk away and be like,
Nick, we had it.
Yeah,
totally.
and just like, I'm sorry.
Totally.
But yeah.
Yeah, so that's my number 9, Decrypto, which we played at MeepleCon, which was great. But not into that.
Awesome. My number 9 is from our sponsor.
Which one?
Restoration Games. I didn't have like bad feelings about these games, but the game that I've chosen is Stop the Thief.
Okay.
Because I was like, all right, like it seemed very like family kids game.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, there's like clues, and you find out someone's walking, and then you're gonna go and catch the robber. And I was like, yeah, and I'm like, all right, like I'm sure that's fun, and like,
or is it gonna be fun like once?
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Totally, exactly.
That one time you're like, that was cool, and then you play it again. The second time you're like, it wasn't that fun. You know?
Yeah, but like, no, it is actually very challenging, especially in co-op mode. Co-op really took it to the next level.
Yeah, I have no interest in
playing
competitive. Yeah.
Unless we're playing with the updated one that's going to come out where it's one person controls. Other than that, I'm like, that or co-op, that's it. Because the co-op is really engaging. It's really tough. It's a really fun puzzle to solve every time because obviously the puzzle's random and different. Stop Thief is like, we've gotten some good mileage out of that game.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it's really fun to stream and everyone gets
really
into
fun to play
it.
live. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, I just did not expect that like I would want to keep on playing that game over and over.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I agree.
Like, and other people had said like, Stop Thief is so good. And I was like, can it be? And I'm like,
Is
yeah,
it
really,
though? Yeah,
it really is that fun. It's really cool, especially again on co-op mode. It's really hard still.
Yeah.
Really, to be fair, like, not so much with the brains.
Not so much.
Right here. So, we can probably make our lives a little harder than we should. But, Stop Thief's my number 9. I was just, like, surprised at the mileage we've gotten out of it.
Yeah, and I every time we play it, it's climbing the ranks for me. Every time we play it, I like it a lot more.
Yeah. I figured it would trend the other way.
Me, exactly. It didn't make my list. I had thought about it though. Yeah. It popped. I was like, "Oh, I should put Stop Thief." I was like, "No, those games I was more surprised of." Mm-hmm. But Stop Thief is great, and it was surprising to me too. I did not think it was going to have the mileage it continues to have. Yeah, indeed.
That's our number 9.
All right.
Should we get into number 8?
I guess.
Yeah, let's take a break.
I suppose. Yeah, let's go head home. We can talk about. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Number 8. All right, so my number 8's been mentioned by Nicholas.
What?
This is that popular game hype. For me, it's Terraforming Mars.
I thought about
Scythe. I thought about Scythe, and I like what you did, where you kind of linked them together.
Yeah, because to me it was the same thing. Yeah,
same thing. So I named Terraforming Mars, but you could easily say Scythe as well. Terraforming Mars was just this game that was like so hyped up, and for whatever reason, we're like, nah.
Yeah.
As for no reason other than like it was
Afraid
popular.
not, sir.
Yeah, and we've done metagame minutes about that, and like that was kind of stupid. Like so many people like it. Probably not because that many people are wrong, but probably because there's something to it.
It's good to it, yeah.
And like Terraforming Mars for me is like a top 10 game for sure. I love it. It just keeps getting. Yeah, probably. It's probably not. It's gonna be way up there, guys.
Just call it.
It's gonna be way up there.
Top 3 at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I love it. I mean, just everything Nick said is true. Like I was just anti it simply because it was popular, and I was very happy to be humbled in that regard and to be wrong.
Sure. And here's the thing about Terraforming Mars, I will give. The first time we played it, the rulebook is not great. First time we played it was not a very good play. We were both very frustrated and annoyed. We didn't even get through a whole first play because we ran out of time. And even then, we were kind of like, man, I want to play it again, though. Like,
we knew something was there.
Which is interesting, because we did not have a good first experience.
Yeah.
And you would think, like, going with our kind of, like, anti that game, and then our first experience, you think that we wouldn't try it again.
Yeah.
And yet we did, which goes to show,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, yeah.
That's how good it is.
pretty good.
Like, we did not have fun, and we're like, I want to play again. We went right back and just like,
Yeah.
let's just play it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then like, we were like, oh, after that first play, we're like, I liked it. We played again, you know, and I was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah, we got first full play, we were like, damn, all right.
Yeah,
Like,
well, maybe
we were
they weren't so
okay.
wrong about this game, you
Yeah,
know? So that is, my number 8 is Terraforming Mars.
Terra.
Now I'm reading a book about it, and like...
You are, yeah, you are in a kind of weird way.
Oh, man, it's just... I soloed it the other day because I was just all jazzed up, and I just wanted to be in that world. You
Yeah,
know?
totally,
So, yeah.
totally. All right, my number 8. This was a while ago. Before we kind of got into gaming, really. My number 8 is a little ditty called Suburbia.
I almost thought...
Really?
Yeah, I almost put that. Good shit.
Suburbia. All right, so Suburbia is a great game. It's about building a suburb, which sounds super boring, but it's really,
That's
really
why
great.
It's great, though.
No, I agree. So my first experience with Suburbia, we had definitely had Pandemic. We were not into gaming. We maybe had Catan, maybe had like Zombicide, but that was probably it. We were at, I was at Sarah's house, our cousin Sarah's place. People were playing some games, and then this one woman brought out Suburbia, and she's like, "Hey, this is a game called Suburbia. You guys want to play it?" And we were all kind of like, "Yeah, all right." And we played like a 4-player game, and we actually played with Suburbia Inc., which is an expansion for it. So when we got Suburbia, I was very confused because it didn't have
a graveyard. Why isn't there a graveyard?
they didn't have the borders or anything. I was like, and it turns out there was an expansion.
That's how new we were. We didn't really know that, like, expansions
didn't exist.
Thing,
yeah,
you know
I just thought that was the game. And I was just kind of like, I didn't really know anybody at this party or whatever, except for our cousin Sarah and her then fiance. And I was just like, okay. Like, I just kind of was being agreeable and was like, yeah, all right. Like, I like some games and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, it's about like building like a suburb. And I was just like,
puke.
All right. Yeah, I was like, cool. And then you look at the game, and I actually really, really like the look of the game now because it really works for the theme.
Totally.
Because it's very bland. It's just like hexagonal and stuff. But you're like, this works because it's suburbs. It's supposed to be boring and kind of just like mute. And that's what it is. I actually love the look of Suburbia. But at the time, I was kind of like, damn, this does not look fun. Like this does not look fun. And that was one of the games that kind of didn't like skyrocket us into gaming, but like
opened up your worldview
a little bit, because I was like, man, there's more of these games, and this is a game that did not look fun, and it was really, really fun. To a game that's probably still in my top 20. Like, I really love Suburbia, and it just at the time I played it, I was just like, damn, that was fun, you know. And I'm just like, wow, I would never call that, you know. And so my number 8 is Suburbia because I was brand new, and it does not look very fun from the outside. And you know what? I was dead wrong.
I know.
Dead wrong.
We've gotten a lot of love out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, we
played it recently, and it's still
still
so damn good.
It's great. It's
God, I love that game.
Got my butt kicked, man. All right. Let's get into number 7, man.
Number
I'm excited for
number 7.
Zevin.
That's a little TGIB joke for you.
And Ciro. An idiot. Dave Luza. Silly guy.
Let's do it. My number 7 is actually from the same company as Suburbia and as New York Slice, a company called Bezier Games. My number 7 is a social deduction game called Werewords.
Interesting.
Werewords is essentially you can say in the game Insider. It's very similar to the game Insider. Some say it was stolen from Insider, but either way, it's a game where it's 20 questions with a traitor. So in this, there's a werewolf, whatever, you know. But it's like, so there's one person who is everyone's trying to get to the word that you're trying to guess, the 20 questions word. Could be banana or whatever. Everyone's asking yes or no questions, just like 20 questions. But there's one person in the group who's a werewolf who does not want the group to get the question right.
Yes.
So they're asking questions to try and veer the group away from the word, because the werewolf knows what the word is. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to ask questions to purposely get people to go like, oh, maybe it is this way instead of going this way. But you don't want to be too obvious, because you can get called out as a werewolf, and if they're right, you lose the game. So, social deduction games are nowhere near my favorite kinds of games. More and more and more, I actually am starting to like them less and less, I think. Again, they stress me out. They're very much a one and done. Like, we'll play one game of, like, a social deduction game, and I'm like, cool, that was fun. Let's do something else. That's very much how I am now. So, when Werewolves came out, and I heard it was like 20 questions of Werewolf, I'm just like, that does not sound like it would work. Like, it really doesn't sound like it would work. But even then, I was kind of like, maybe, you know, and when we played it, it's just like, it's the only social deduction game I really have much interest in playing anymore. It's by far my favorite social deduction game. It's amazing. I really love it. And it's quick. It's 5 minutes. So you can go boom, 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 and just bust them out. It's really fun being the werewolf. It's really fun being the mayor, who's the person who knows the answer. He's the one giving out the answers, yes or no. It's really fun playing all the parts, even just being a normal villager trying to get to the 20 questions.
Yeah, you still have something to do.
And so, like, I wasn't, like, necessarily like, I'm going to hate this game. I was kind of like, but, like, the surprise was huge because it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. And, and I really like it, and it's by far my favorite social deduction game. It runs off an app, so it's really easy. It's really portable.
Slick, yeah.
It's just great, and I really, really like it. So my number 7 is Werewords.
Nice. It even made our top 5 games to play in a bar list.
That's true.
So Werewords is definitely a good one. Very portable, very fun.
Yes, indeed.
Nice, dude. My number 7 is a magical themed game.
That's so many games.
Where you're mixing up elixirs and things.
Oh,
My
really?
number 7 is Potion Explosion.
Okay.
And the reason is, it's similar to Stop Thief.
This could have made my list,
It's very fun. Cool gimmick where you're pulling up the marbles and they cause explosions. You're just picking up a bunch of marbles and you're putting them on your little potions and stuff.
Yes.
And all the potions have different abilities that they give you, which help you complete more potions. Ultimately, that's what you're trying to do, is just make the most potions and stuff and get your points. And it's a game that we played at a convention, and it's like just a very fun, could be a very fun one-off.
Yes.
Because like, oh, that was fun, and the marbles, yeah. But then, like, you start playing a little bit, and you can actually get pretty slick with, like, the potions you choose to make and how you use those potions to combine and get a bunch of marbles to do other stuff. So it's like, you can actually get pretty strategic. And I would not say I'm great at it. I keep getting my butt kicked by a certain lady, who I won't name because, you know, she just keeps dominating, and it frustrates me. Karen, how dare you? But, like... the surprise level comes in that, like, something that could just be like, oh, it's like a physical Candy Crush, is actually like a game that is very
very much
tactile and satisfying, but also, like, it is really fun. It's beautiful, and, like, you can really have some fun with, like, how to you can get strategic with it.
Totally. It's a game that does not seem like it'd be fun after 2 plays.
Yeah.
Like,
and it super is. So, I mean, it made this surprise level that I'm like, oh, like, I've liked this game more.
It's kind of like an ongoing surprise, you know? Like,
yeah. I'm like, oh, now I'm actually kind of, like, good at this. Like, oh, I'm going to get slick with this over here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Make
like,
this one drink this potion. Go over here, do some sorry.
Yeah, what's going on? So Potion Explosion is just the fact that, like, they could have been lazy and just been like, the marbles go boom, and then you collect
totally. And it still would have sold because of the gimmick,
Yeah, and, like, I'm like, oh, but they actually, like, put just a little bit, but it's very light, very accessible still.
Yeah.
But it's, like, a good one. That's one that if we made a list, we should, is, like, cross-generational games.
Yeah.
Everyone in the family could play Potion Explosion.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that's pretty awesome. That's a nice surprise.
Very cool. I didn't even cross my mind, honestly, that one. That's a good choice, though. Very good choice.
That's my 7.
Yee.
Let's get into...
Good to 6.
6 is next, and that's how numbers count down.
Good segue.
Dang. Okay.
Changing stuff?
No. Okay. I'm making sure. I did change stuff before, so I need to make sure
Okay,
I'm
I see.
looking at the right spot. I'm looking at the right spot. Okay. All right, my number 6. This is my categorical one.
Okay.
My number 6 surprise is
Board games.
I should have written that. Monopoly. My number 6 is solo gaming.
Interesting. Okay.
I never
You haven't played solo one.
I would ever embrace it at all. Just like I like being around people.
That's interesting.
I prefer it. I don't. At least with board games and stuff, it's just I didn't think I was like. I'm like nah. And then I've done a couple, and at first I was like, yeah, all right, but like where? But now I'm like, I'm kind of digging on the solo game experience. You know what I mean? I've had a few times where I've had a night to myself and like I've just soloed a game, didn't stream it or anything, just like gotten into the solo vibe, and I'm like, all right, I kind of see how people get into this and stuff, and I'm very surprised. I'm honestly surprised with myself.
That's interesting. Okay.
Self-sufficient, independent man.
He snaps up.
And stank. Yeah, so just that's it. It's just like
That's
I'm
interesting.
surprised, and now I'm like, I'm curious how this would solo. I'm curious how that would solo, and yeah, I just.
What's your favorite game of solo right now?
I've soloed Terraforming Mars the most.
Yeah.
And I really do enjoy that. Scythe is really fun too. I could see myself going deeper into Scythe for sure.
Scythe would be interesting.
And I want to solo like Networks. Like
Networks
seeing you play it, it seemed really cool.
Ex Libris is fun too.
Yeah, so I don't know, but the point is like I want to know which ones are good and,
totally.
like do more. So I'm just surprised that I have a care to even learn. Like Nick's done some homebrewed solo stuff, and I'm like, I want to try these. I want to do, you know what I mean?
Because there's always variants online and stuff. They're usually probably not great, but
But like I want to know about them, so I'm surprised that that's even entered my mind at all. So soloing games.
Interesting.
Very
cool.
surprised.
Very cool. All right, that's interesting. All right.
Yeah, blew your list right out of the water. Pa!
Bah! All right, my number 6. This is from
Pick up sticks, man.
Yeah, this is by far the newest edition. Like, this is the game we played most recently. It was last weekend. As we first played the game. You first played this game a couple days ago. But my number 6 is Great Western Trail.
Ah, yes.
And this a teeny bit goes into my number 10, which is like the hype train.
Yes.
Great Western Trail is very, very hype. People love the game a lot, and there's a bit of me that was kind of like meh. But after Terraforming Mars and after Scythe, I don't do that near as much anymore. Honestly, if the game is really hyped, I'm like, oh, it's probably really good.
Yeah.
So it's a little not so much that, but this is a game that just like I've seen like reviews for it. I've looked at the game. I know the theme of the game, which is you're running cattle. You're running cattle up to Kansas City, selling the cattle, and you go back around, run more cattle up to Kansas City, sell the cattle. It just, none of it seemed like I was going to like it. Like, it's relatively heavy. Not crazy heavy, but it's like heavier, on the heavier side. And it just, every single thing about it made me not want to play it. Like, I just was just like, I don't like the theme. I don't really like the look of like what you're doing. The mechanics don't seem that interesting. It seems like really dry and heavy, and I don't tend to like dry, heavy games. It was like a whole bunch of stuff that made me think that I was like, I'm not gonna like this game.
Yeah.
And then a wonderful viewer got it for us.
Yes.
Sent it to us, and even sent it to us saying like, hey,
you might hate this.
You might hate this. Just BT dubs. You might hate this because we had never played it before.
He knew better.
I think he knows us better than we know ourselves for sure. So he sent it to us, and so we were like, okay, well, we got to play it at least, just to see if we like it and stuff. And we were at a convention last weekend, and I was hanging out with a different follower. We were trying to figure out what game to play, and he was like, hey, like I've played Great Western Trail like once. We could probably fumble through the rules. It was me, him, and another gentleman. You're like, you want to play it? And I was like, yeah, this is actually great because then I can learn how to play it, and then I can teach Mike, and then we can play to figure out whether or not we like this game. And we started playing it, and it was a long game because we were kind of very much fumbling through the rules, which wasn't any of our faults. We just didn't know the game that well. Yeah. But even when I was playing it and we were fumbling through the rules, I was like, huh. Like, just very much like in my own head, constantly just like a, huh. Like, just like a, okay, all right. And so,
Holstein cows, huh?
Yeah. Dutch belt cows, huh? Interesting. Right. And then we got through the game, and then I told him about it, and I was like, yeah, we should play it. Like, I think I really liked it. And so then we played it, and both of us were just like, damn, that was really good. Like, I really liked it. And you especially, I knew this was going to be a decent surprise for you because you multiple times over the next few days were just like, man, I really liked Great Western Trail. Just like, just like out of nowhere. That's how I know if one of us really likes a game, because it'll be like completely out of context. We'll be like silent for a few seconds, and one of us will go like, man, I really liked da-da-da-da, which means we were thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I was having the same thing. And so like I was just like, damn. And then we streamed it on Thursday. this a couple days ago on Thursday, and I liked it even more. And I'm just like, damn, I really like this game. And this is a game I thought I was gonna hate every second of it. So the surprise there was pretty big. So my number 6 is Great Western Trail, because I had looked at it and was just like, yep, I'm not gonna like that. And it turns out it's pretty darn good. I like it.
All right, man, that's good. Number 6, we're halfway through, dude.
We're halfway through, dude. Up top. Boom,
All right, let's go
nailed
to the
it.
top 5 of the actually good surprises now.
All right.
What's your 5, dude?
Number 5 is also from our sponsor, but it's a different game. I had thought about putting Stop Thief on there, but I was like, no, because this game was more surprising to me. This game is Indulgence.
I almost put that. I switched to Stop Thief last second.
Man, I did not think I was going to like Indulgence. Indulgence is a trick-taking game.
Right, which...
And you're getting, like, gems and stuff, which are just points and such. And there's, like, these 4 families in, like, old Italy and stuff.
Borgias and stuff.
The Borgias, yes. You know, and you're trying to collect, and they have values. It's just like a trick-taking game.
Yeah.
And I have it, again, in my mind, kind of like the same thing where I talk about how I think I'm bad at giving clues. I have it in my mind that I don't like trick-taking games.
Yeah.
I very, very much have that in my mind. And I think it's because I don't like hearts. I don't like spades. Mm-hmm. I don't like the traditional trick-taking games. Turns out I like trick-taking games where there's something else going on.
Okay.
You know, and granted, we were never raised on trick-taking games. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I used to play with my grandparents. I used to play with my dad or my mom or something like that. Again, we were never raised on them. So I just have it in my mind that I don't like them because the few times I've played like traditional trick-taking games like hearts and stuff, I don't enjoy them. I'm not very good at them. I'm still not good at trick-taking games. But like, I just...
You don't hate them.
Yeah, I don't find them very fun and stuff. And so I kind of go into this bias with trick-taking games that I'm like, I'm not going to like it. I had the same thing with Fox in the Forest. But that one, for some reason, I had a little bit more of a better head going into it. Indulgence, I was really like, I am not going to like this game. Yeah. Like, I am not going to like this game. Which is going to be conflicting because they're from our sponsor. And our sponsor is very lovely. They said you do not need to like our games. If you don't like one of our games, you don't have to say you like it. You can say, hey, I don't like this game. That's totally okay. They're wonderful restoration games. They're the best. But we got to play it. We played it on stream. We had a restoration games night. We played Downforce, which is one of their games, Stop Thief. And then we played Indulgence. And we were playing it. And I was just like, man, I really like this game.
Yeah.
And I, honestly, I would be bugging you to play it all the time if it could play at 2 players. And it doesn't play at 2 players. But it's really, really good. And I like Fox in the Forest and Indulgence the same way. There's like special powers or certain cards that do certain things, and then it makes the game more interesting to me. It's not just like trying to get tricks or not trying to get tricks depending on the game you're playing. It's just more going on, and it turns out I really like trick-taking games, but they have to have something else going on.
A little bit of, something to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So going into Indulgence, I was very much like, oh, this is going to be the first time I have to tell our sponsors on like one of their games. I was like, I'm going this like hot, being like, this game sucks.
They sat back and said, we shall see.
We shall see. And it was great. Indulgence is a great trick-taking game if you haven't played it. It's wonderful, and I really, really like it a lot.
Same.
Yeah.
Indulgence, almost, it could have gone in the spot of the Stop Thief.
I am surprised we have not had more crossover.
Yeah,
I figured Indulgence is going to be on there. It's cool. Interesting. All right, cool.
Thought about it, man. Right. We're our own people, you guys. See, this proves it. All right, and now my number 5. I'm curious if it will show up on your list. My number 5 is Orleans or Orleans.
I was pretty sure I was gonna like it.
Oh, okay, I was not so sure. It seemed like
it crossed my mind, but I didn't put it on there. I was like, I was pretty sure I was gonna like it.
It seemed like that. Oh, that's a game that board gamers like. I'm not one of them.
I'm not one of those.
I'm over here. I'm on the cool side of board games, man. This is what a bunch of Dan Hughes is like Orleans. They don't call it Orleans when clearly it should be Orleans. And it's this whole thing. It's this bag builder, and it slowly built up. I started to get like more like, okay, I think we'll like this, but it just took a while. Then the art and stuff, just like nothing inspired me right off the gate.
The art
I was just like, it looks big, and I'm just like, Orleans just seems like a freaking.
And it's not the best looking game,
board game. Just we're playing Orleans, and I'm like, sign me up, like. Just
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have much sex appeal.
That's true.
But Orleans, if they did that and jazzed it up, then it'd be sweet. It actually is quite great. It surprised me because like I liked it so much more than I thought. which I guess is the theme of this list, guys.
It is indeed. Yeah, right after we played, we're both like,
I was like, wow.
damn, that was
Like,
awesome.
immediately,
we were
like, where can we
pumped.
get this game? Da, da, da. You know,
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I was like, shit, man, I really enjoyed that.
That's how you know we like a game, because we instantly go like online and be like, what was the game cost? Just
Yeah.
like real quick. Like,
yeah, but I was just like, okay, I guess I get it now. And, you know, and I made my piece of the art. The art doesn't bother me and
No,
stuff.
not that
and,
much,
and,
but-
you know, it's like, but I was like, oh, there's lots of interesting stuff you can do in this idea of the way the bag builder works, and you're trying to get your little combinations of workers out and everything. It just, yeah, I really dug it. And this one has like kind of a two-parter because Altiplano just came out, which is like a pseudo sequel. It's the same designer and everything. A lot of crossover between Orleans and Altiplano. And I was kind of doubly surprised that like I didn't love Altiplano that much.
I liked
think
it,
we
but
need
not
to play
as,
it more.
I think so too.
But there was a couple things where I was like, oh, but like I just like Orleans better. You know?
I like Orleans better too.
And so I was kind of doubly
100%.
surprised there. But yeah, Orleans, man.
Orleans.
Orleans, my number 5. I was just, for whatever reason, I just couldn't get my head around it for a long time.
The bag building concept is confusing, and that's kind
Yeah.
of what's holding me back. But I was going into it, I was like, the reason to make a list because I was like, yeah, it's just one of those games where I was kind of like, I was like, I'm gonna like this game. I don't really know why, but I was just like, I'm gonna like this
Yeah,
one.
I
And
didn't have that same belief
yeah.
necessarily, and it like super great. We own it now, and boom. So
Yeah.
Orleans,
Yeah.
who knew?
It's already there.
Let's do our number 4.
Foe.
Dang. My number 4 is Spazz Bass.
Oh, really?
Space Bass.
Spazz Bass.
Space Bass for a bunch of squares out there.
It's Spazz Bass.
Spazz Bass.
Spazz Bass. Really?
Spazz Bass.
Spazz Bass is not on my list.
Spazz Bass. It was super surprising because it was a game that like was not on my radar. It was literally sprung upon us. We were going to be doing a stream of Mystic Vale, which is a John DeClaire game, and we're going to have our buddy Shay, who joins us on the stream quite often. And he said like, "Hey, I just got another one of his games. I have an extra copy. A, do you want it? B, do you want to play and do like a John DeClaire night?" And we said, "Yeah, sure. Bring over whatever it
not?
is." And had no idea
Yeah,
what
no.
Space Base was.
Yeah.
And so they brought it over, and he's just like, it's like Machikoro in space. I'm like, cool. Machikoro is one of those games that I've never played.
Yeah,
and they said,
neither
like,
have I.
it's better than Machikoro. I'm like, great. It's better than something I don't know what it is.
Perfect.
You know, and so Shay brought it over. He taught us this game, and at first I was kind of like, oh man, it's like dependent on dice rolls. Like,
Yes. Which is not Mike's jam.
no, because that dice don't like me very
No,
much.
not very much.
And then like as you started to play, you realize like it's this little engine builder.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy all these cards. Basically, you just roll the dice, which gives you money, or it gives you victory points, or it gives you this thing income, which basically creates a higher baseline of money you can have. That's all you do. And you get your money and you buy cards that give you better stuff when you roll those numbers.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is like when you start swapping out cards for new ones, you take the cards, you flip them upside down, and you put them underneath your board so a little part sticks out.
Yeah.
And those become things that you gain when other people roll them.
Yes.
And so you can build your little engine so that you have stuff, no matter what gets rolled, you're going to hit something.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, like it doesn't matter how bad of luck
It's
I
like
have.
literally-
I can make my bad luck work for me here.
Yeah, and there's like literally zero downtime because
Yes.
you're always interested in what other people are doing.
Yes, and that's what was surprising was like the speed at which it plays. You're always engaged. You're always doing something. It's simple. It's fun. It takes the whole like bad luck element out of it, and it's just like you're rolling, and you can make whatever you need work for you. And I was just like, it was a nice like literally gift. Like you said,
Yeah.
like here, this extra copy of this game I got. Like you can have
Yeah.
it, and then like boom, we loved it, and like I played it a bunch, loved teaching it. So I was just like, dude, this was so nice. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even know this game existed, and now I love it. Like. It was so easy. You
Yeah,
know?
totally.
So Space Base was cool, especially because like it's a dice game that I don't have to get mad at any
Yeah,
point.
that's
which is rare.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, because me and the luck, man, boy.
Not so much. Not so much.
Boy,
with the
I'll
luck.
tell ya.
Boy, I'll tell you. All right, my number 4. I gotta imagine this one's on your list.
Probs not. I don't know. What is
I would assume 2 of my top 4 are on your list, but they haven't been yet, so maybe not. It's been a pretty different list. I thought we were gonna have a ton of crossover. I guess not. My number 4 is The Mind.
Whoa.
It's
not on my list.
Is it really not?
No.
What?
I had no bias going into that game.
I did not think I was gonna like this game. So The Mind is a game. It's a co-op game. It's sweeping the world right now. People are, and I'm probably, oh, The Mind. But I really like the game. So The Mind is a co-op game where you have a deck of cards that are just numbered 1 through 100, and you each are going to get cards depending on the round. If it's round 1, each person gets 1 card. If round 2, each person gets 2 cards. And you have to put the cards down in order, numerical order. So it's from 1 to 100, which sounds simple, except for you can't talk. So it's like, how do you put down the numbers? And you just kind of go through body language. Like if you have a low number, you kind of start slowly putting it out.
If you think you have the next number in the order.
Yeah, you start moving, and you see if anyone moves before you. Because if you're like, oh, this number is 5 more than the number that's down here, that's pretty close. You start moving, but if someone has one that's like 1 next to that one, they might go real quick. So you kind of have to like feel each other out, and there becomes this whole like second language of like...
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk, but always kind of like...
Yeah, there's a whole body language thing, and it's weirdly fun. So we're at MeepleCon. This wonderful woman named Jess was making everybody play this game with her. Like she
really pushing it on people.
Really pushing it. And like she came up to us multiple times like, we gotta play this game, When can we sit down and play this game? And we had kinda just we were it's not like we were blown off, but we had other stuff that we were doing and stuff, and it was just kinda we never got hooked up with her, and I personally didn't feel too much of a need to be like, yeah, we gotta play this game. I was like, if it happens, cool. And like, she finally cornered us like right before we were leaving.
About to walk out the door.
About to walk out the door. She's like, it's a quick game. Let's play real quick. Sit down. We're doing this. And we were like, all right, we'll do it. And man, it was so much fun. And to the point where Mike ordered it from Germany.
Yeah.
Ordered it from Germany so we could have it. And it's so much fun. But I just because, again, it's a game that was super hyped up. And then she was pushing it so hard that I was like, there's no way this game is this fun. And it was great. I really, really like it. I like it a lot. And I was very, very surprised that I liked it at all. And yet how much we liked it is even crazier. I'm like, man, it's a fun, great little game.
Yeah.
And I am astonished. I figured it would be on your list. I figured it would be like near the top. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
It's just because like when I heard about it, because Chris the Paisano, and Z had talked about it earlier in the weekend. Z was kind of like, I played this game, The Mind, and he was like, I just was really, at first I was like, I don't know. They're just like, I really kind of liked it. And they were explaining what it was. I was like, oh, it's like an improv game. You do a thing called blind count off, where you all close your eyes, you have a whole group, and you have to say the numbers 1 through 10 without anyone talking at the same time. So you just have to close your eyes and feel it. And whenever you think it's time, if you think it should be you say 1. And then someone else says 2. And then inevitably 2 people say 3 and you start again. And so I was just like, oh, it's like an improv game, you know? It's like that same thing. I was just like, that seems cool. I could get how that could be cool. So I wasn't going in like, oh, man. I was just like, I'm sure I'm going to like this.
Okay, yeah, see, I was going mass prejudice. Yeah,
man. No, I was open.
Yeah, all right. Hey.
I was open to receive the mind, man.
That's true.
My mind was there.
My mind was there. Alrighty. Top 3, baby.
Oh, man.
Top 3.
So surprising now.
Oh, my gosh. You're going to be surprised.
Wow. What? That's very upsetting. What's your number 3, man?
My number 3, if this isn't on your list, I'm going to slap you in the face.
I'm going to step away, man. All right.
My number 3 is You've Got Crabs.
Oh.
There's not on your list? Are you serious?
Damn.
Bring me your face. You slap. Good man. I can't believe this game is not on your list.
I'm going to talk about it. It should be. Damn.
You got crabs, man. Okay, you got
The problem
crabs.
is that's why we need to write stuff down. I forget what we played.
My number 3.
I was sitting here this whole morning like, what the hell have I played that's surprising? I'm so mad. There's always, every time we do a list, there's always one I think of later. I'm like, oh, you idiot.
Of course, yeah. So my number 3 is, I figured this might be your number 1. I'm curious what your number 1's going to be. So
it should be You've Got Crabs, to be honest.
To be completely honest, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, my number 3 is a game called You Got Crabs, which is a dumb name. It's made by the people who made that Siren. It's made by the people who made Exploding Kittens. I believe it's made by that same company. But it's a very silly game, and it's got an evocative title because it's called You Got Crabs. Everyone's like, oh my God, that's an STD. So, like, it's a game where you're trying to get it's a set collection game. You're trying to get 4 of the same kind of crabs, and there's all these different kinds. There's like ab crabs or all these buff crabs.
Abracrabdabra.
Abracrabdabra. Really cutesy, fun art, and honestly, the crab puns are really fun.
They're pretty solid.
But it's got an evocative title for like really no reason. You can throw any theme on it.
It's not a dirty game.
But the crux of the game is you're on a team with someone else. You should be mad at yourself. You're on a team. So Mike and I are on a team, and then his lady Karen, and then her friend Daniela were on a team. And before you go into different rooms, and you decide what your signal is going to be.
You gotta have a signal, man.
You gotta have a signal, and it's a non-verbal signal, so it can't be like, "Hey," And so,
ha ha! Making a fire, making a fire,
making a fire. Fuego, fuego, fuego.
You're just like, wow, we're having an episode.
Exactly. So you have a non-verbal cue. They have to get each other. And basically what it is when you get a set of 4 of the same kind of crab, you then have to let your partner know that, hey, I've got crabs. And what it means is you have 4 of the same kind, means you've got crabs. But they have to be the one that announces that you have crabs. And if you announce that you have crabs and you get it right, you get a point. And at the end of the game, who has the most points win. So you have to give the other person the non-verbal cue saying, hey, I've got crabs. And then they go, oh, wait, everyone stop. Nick's got crabs. You go, yep, I do. Boom. So then the other team are trying to figure out what your signal is. Yeah. And there's games that do this, and this is kind of more of an official game. I think there's like a party game that does this and stuff. And I don't generally like these kinds of games. The Cards Against Humanity, the whole like, we're going to be evocative, like, and crude for crude's sake. I think they're fun, like, again, like one time every 10 years. I just don't really like them. I don't think they're very fun. I think the gimmick gets very old, and this is what this game sounds like.
Yes,
because of the name. Because the name is very like it's just like and so I was like, they really wanted to play it, and both me and him, and I was just like, I do not want to play this game. Like to the point where I was gonna be like, can we play anything else? I don't want to play. I don't generally I really hate these games. And then we started playing it, and we haven't laughed so hard in the game because you're trying to give each other a signal, and you're just giggling because of it.
Gigs, man.
Gosh, and you're trying to like look at other people, and there's constantly just like, oh wait, pause, Karen has crabs, and you're like, what was the saying? And you're just like, and it was bananas and so much fun.
Especially because like this guy and I like did not have good poker faces.
No,
we should have lost those games so bad. We would start giggling because I'm like trying to do. We had this furrowed brow thing.
Yeah, we have
the idea is thinking like he was thinking about your cards. He was like,
Yeah, so you're thinking about your cards. You're like, I'm thinking about my cards.
I would be giving like intense eyebrows. Nick wouldn't pick up on it, so then I start laughing, and then Nick starts laughing because he knows he missed something, and then they would just be like, Mike has crabs. I was like, dude, we should have gotten busted so hard.
Yeah, because their signal was way better than ours too.
Theirs was super slick.
So that's my number 3. Because it went from 0 to 100 in terms of how surprised I was. We had so much fun, and it's a game I wouldn't want to play all the time, but every once in a while that game is going to be fun, and I was so surprised at how much I liked that game. Yeah. So my number 3 is You Got Crabs.
My number 3 should be You've Got Crabs. Really though, I mean that's probably truly one of the most surprising.
Yeah, I was dead set that was.
We were just like,
your number.
I'm not excited for this, and then we're so pumped. My number 3 has been said by Nick, and it is Great Western Trail.
3, okay. I think I've done your list, but 3, okay.
Because the reason I had the added thing of like, it sounded just like everyone described it as like, it's so heavy, it's 3 hours, this and that. And I'm like, it's not that heavy.
No, it's not.
I don't know what, like,
and our capacity for heavy games has gotten bigger, so we have to take that into account.
True, but I was just like, dude, and like it was compounded by the fact that like Great Western Trail had popped up a couple of times during our podcast. This game is broken. And it was in like a rules lawyer game where like Dan read this like long, it was paragraphs long, this one thing.
And phase food, if you do this phase, then you go to this phase.
Yeah, you go to this phase. At the end, he must have been explaining what you do in Kansas City or something.
I think so.
And at the end, I was just like, I just said like, F this game. Like, whatever this game is, I do not want to play it.
Yeah.
And then now I was like, I do want to play it.
Yeah.
Like, I was just, I had just decided like, that game's some super heavy BS Euro, whatever. And now I'm just like, well, apparently Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
Who knew running cattle could be just so fun?
It's honestly,
everything
and
Nick
I
said is
love the theme now because I'm like,
I
there
think
actually
it's
is no,
great.
there's no games about that really, and then like you
Yeah.
get all these cattle cards. You're like, oh, I'm selling. I really dig the theme, and I did not think I was gonna like that theme at all. I thought
Yeah.
it was super boring from the outside.
Yeah, and the second time we played, I got my butt kicked because like there are a lot of paths to take strategically for victory, and I just kind of didn't choose one and end in the middle. But like I really want to play again and learn more. So yeah, just like certain things that I just heard about and everything, I was just like, nope, super no. The cover, I'm like, nope, don't want that.
Yeah,
Now
the
I'm like,
cover hurts because it's my least favorite boss cover ever.
do want that. So
Yeah.
Just Great Western Trail is just like so surprised that I really, really want to play it more. Who knew?
Yeah, I agree.
You got crabs though, man.
I can't believe it's on your list. I'm so excited.
We gotta get better. This is I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna commit.
I'm gonna get it both legs. I'm gonna commit.
I'm gonna commit to writing stuff down because like that's a shame.
I have my phone now. All the
And,
games
like,
we've been playing. Yeah,
We did a good job about talking about like why it's so great. So everything Nick said, just know that it's also on my list. It's an invisible number you can't see, but you got crabs rips hard. It is really fun. We just giggled, laughed our asses off.
Yeah.
But let's get to number 2 now.
Bang.
Bang. All right.
What's your number 2, bro?
My number 2 is a sort of a game sequel. This is a game sequel, and the first one I was not as hot on as I wanted to be. My number 2 is The Prodigal's Club.
Interesting. Really?
Yes.
Number 2. Okay.
Because we played The Last Will, which is like the precursor to this game.
Yes.
You can combine those the Prodigal's Club and The Last Will if you
Don't do
want.
that.
Don't do that, but you could. The Last Will, the theme in Prodigal's Club is the same thing. It's so great.
It might be my favorite theme of all
It's
time.
like
yeah.
just in The Last Will, you just want to lose all your money.
Yeah.
Be the poorest person. So you're just like blowing through cash however you can.
It's just so
buying
absurd.
houses for way too much, selling them for way too little. And Prodigal's Club takes that where you're trying to lose all your possessions, but you can also add different modules where you're trying to like basically lose all your friends and lose all standing in all social circles.
Yeah.
And then another one where you're trying to lose an election. You're trying to throw an election. And you can either choose 2 or I just like to play with all 3 modules.
You should play all 3.
And Prodigal's Club fixes a lot of stuff in Last Will. Like we played Last Will, and I was like, the first time I was like, oh yeah. And then the second time I played, I was like, I don't really like this. And we played again, I was like, I don't like this, because the certain things that are fiddly are really frustrating. And it's more frustrating because I know like the theme and stuff is so good.
Yeah.
It's being held back by a couple of mechanical things, which is so unfortunate. And Prodigal's Club cleans up some of those issues and keep some of the Last Will. I really wish they would redo the Last Will and just clean it up like they did Prodigal's Club and re-release it.
Yeah.
Because like I would get the Last Will in addition to Prodigal's Club.
I agree.
Really
I would probably do the same thing.
I really would because I like the idea of the theme so much. So going into Prodigal's Club, I was just like, all right, man, like I've heard, you said like they fixed some of the things. I heard it's better and stuff, and I'm like, I hope it is. And then we played it, and I was like, okay, that's different. That's different. It's hard. It's thinky. It's definitely like
It's a
one
lot
of those
going
things
on.
where like you do not have enough time to get done.
That's
what you
worker
need to get
placement. You
done.
need to do everything, and you can't do any of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like it just every time we played it, it stepped up, and to the point where I was still kind of like, all right, yeah, I like it, And then this last time we played it, I was just like, oh, now I'm kind of hooked into it, and I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so it was just I was coming into it with like just so much kind of trepidation because like Last Will is so close to being great. And I was just like, is Prodigal Club going to be able to fix it? And like, yeah, I think it did. But I still really want them to redo Last Will and do it right.
I know. I agree.
Because you'd have to fix just like
Couple
tiniest things.
Yeah.
Tiniest things.
Yeah, I agree. That's
Anyway,
interesting.
so Prodigal's Club's my number 2, man. I really enjoy it, and I'm excited every time we play it. I
Yeah, totally.
go a little bit deeper in and start to get more strategic with it because it's like there's a lot going on there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I was the one who was really pushing, like, we gotta buy Prodigal's Club.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, obviously I trust you, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Last Will, because Nick has always been more into Last Will than I have, and so I was just like, I hope it can do it, and it did. It totally did.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2 is a game that a lot of people probably haven't played. It was introduced to us by a wonderful gentleman named Marty who comes to our game group. It's an old Polish jam
Yeah.
called Q. Q as in like a line, like Q. This game
I like that.
it's good. It's really good. It's essentially like it's got a really weird look, which is why I think I wasn't that into it. Also,
Very drab.
it's a very old game, and again, the drabness actually makes sense.
It's fitting in the theme. It's part of the theme.
Yeah, but it's a pretty old game and stuff like that. And Marty, he likes to introduce us to older games and stuff. And I was just like, man, it doesn't look very good. It's like this old Polish game, and just I'm like, oh man, I don't know. And I played it, and again, the first time I was kind of like, all right, and then I played it again a couple months ago, and I was just like, I actually really like this, but also because it was explained. Marty explained it as a really mean game, and I don't tend to like mean games. I don't like super high conflict games. I don't generally like really take that games. This game is very much like you're just being straight up mean to everybody, and I was like, this seems like a perfect storm of stuff I don't like, in terms of like, does it look good? I don't know anything about this game, and like it's really, really mean, and it's a game essentially where you're trying to get certain goods. You have certain goods that you need to get. There's like appliances and like clothing and like canned goods and stuff. And again, it's very, very basic. And it might be like, I need 5 canned goods, 4 clothing, 3 furniture, and 2, appliances or whatever. And then everyone else needs a different assortment. They might need 5 clothes and da-da-da-da. So you're trying to go to all these different stores on the board that have this. Like, this is like the place where you get clothes. This is the place where you get this. This is the place where you get this. And you form a queue. You form a line with your people. But then there's like all these cards you can play where you can like take the line and flip it.
Can manipulate
around.
the line.
So you can be in the back of the line, and then you can flip it so now you're in the front of the line. But then someone could play a card and flip it back. Yeah. You can take it where you take your person, put them in the front of the line. And you take your person and move them like forward 2 spots. And you can do all this stuff to manipulate these queues so that you get the stuff that you want.
It's very limited rations of everything.
Yeah, it's very limited rations. It was like World War II Poland, or Great Depression Poland, like real poor times and stuff. Yeah. And like, it's got a really weird art style on like these really big head people on the cards. It's just a very odd looking game.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, it's weird. But it's very intriguing, and it's very, very good, and I like it a lot. And after this, I think I played it 3 times. After the second time, I was like, I actually really like this game. And I like it more and more each time I play it. But it was like just going from like, oh man, like I don't know what to expect to like, wow, this is actually really fun, and I like it more and more, and it's good. If you ever find it, play it, because it's I mean, I don't think it's available ever anywhere. I mean, I don't know where the hell you get it, but it's a good game, and I was very surprised. And yeah, that's my number 2. It's Q.
Dang, it is really worth a try. Yeah, I like that
if you come across it, try it. It's fun. It's actually really fun.
I almost put Marty showed us, or showed me rather, Railways of the World.
I thought that might be your number 1. I'm so curious what your number 1 is then.
Railways of the World. Great Western Trail kind of covered my whole like pioneering out west vibe. But that's another game that like I was actually surprised that like I was into like a big train game.
Yeah,
I didn't think I would be.
I'm
but
still
I
not
like
sure. I haven't played it yet, but I'm still not sure.
I liked it much more than I thought I would, to be honest. So
cool.
Didn't quite make the list, but yeah.
All right, it's time.
Woo! Load it up, number 1 train a coming.
Let's do it.
So what is your number 1?
Oh, man, I'm so curious what my number 1 is.
I'm blowing his mind all list.
I'm astonished. We've not had I've been have a lot of crossover. We have not had much at all. My number 1, Mike already knows. My number 1 is A Feast for Odin, as he knows. This is not my favorite game in the whole world by any means. I do like the game a lot.
That's not what this list is.
It is not. This list is the biggest surprises. This game, again, we're more into heavy games than we think we are. Yes. And this is a very big, oh my gosh, it's a big Uwe Rosenberg game who did like Agricola and Caverna. He does these giant games. And it's got like the game Patchwork came out of this game. Patchwork's a game where you're putting stuff to like cover up this grid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There's a whole, essentially almost a game of Patchwork in this game. That's right. It's just, there's like 60 different places you can put your workers. It's a worker placement game. It's just so massive, and it's super open-ended. There's not like this is the path. Like the first time you're playing, it's not like this is the path you should probably take. It's just like, do whatever. And it's like, which is weird because we like Caverna. And we like worker placement games, even heavier worker placement games. But I was
just
just like,
so giant.
more than any other game, I was like, I am gonna hate this game. And there's this wonderful gentleman named Joe who comes to our game group sometimes, and he likes kind of heavier games and stuff like that. And he gets us to play a lot of these games. And he wanted to play Feast for Odin this one time. So me and this woman and him sat down to play. And I told him multiple times when we were learning the game beforehand, I was like, I'm gonna hate this game. I'm telling you right now, Joe. I was like, it's nothing personal.
It's gonna be your fault.
But I'm going to hate this experience. Like, I'm going to hate this game. I am not going to like it.
Every minute of this is going to be torture.
I'm just... And it's just... And I loved it. Like, loved it. Like... Goes to show, like, worker placement can do no wrong to me. I just...
Your announcement that you liked it was so surprising that it almost made my list.
I know.
You're like, I really liked it. And I was like, really?
I know. I just...
Okay.
I really liked it. I liked it a lot, and it didn't hurt that I crushed at it too.
Yeah. So like, what was there? Like, what hooked you into the game? Did you just? I mean, like, what was it about it? Was it because like it, even though it was open ended, you were still able to figure out something you wanted?
Yeah, I think the open endedness didn't scare me near as much as it would. It's like there's not really like you have to do this strategy, and you kind of figure it out as you go along. But what really like worried me was like the patchwork part where you're covering up parts of this grid, because on the grid there's like this little, it's like a square grid, a bunch of little squares all over it, and then there's like a little part right here that has like some stuff, and the rest of it is just -1s. And basically, if you don't cover up this, how many things you don't cover up, you're going to get -1, and that is really intimidating to look at, because I'm like,
no way.
There's no way I'm covering all this. And I think I covered all but like 5 spots. Like, that was my main focus. I was like, I need to cover this board because it was scary to me. And I really, really liked it. I think I grasped it relatively quickly in terms of like what to do, like what was a good thing. And I did really well during it, and I loved it. I loved it to the point where, like, yeah, I mean, it's $100, so we still haven't gotten the game. But I'm like, you know, if I find it on sale somewhere, like, I'd be down to get it because I really liked it. And yeah. And so Feast for Odin was, I mean, I straight up told him many times, I'm gonna hate this game, and I walked away being like, damn, I really loved that game. And that was. I mean, when we did this list, I was just like, yeah, Feast for Odin's 1. Okay, let me figure out the rest because I already knew. I mean, just 100%. 100%.
There you go, man. I mean, that's what it's all about right there. That's why you gotta stay open-minded in games, guys, because you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
And if you like, ultimately it wasn't your favorite game, like, oh, it's an hour of your life, like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing lost. Much gained.
I have no idea what your number 1 is.
Blowing your mind, man.
Has it been said?
No.
No. Okay, I have no idea.
Has not been said. This is a
game.
game.
Maybe I do know. Go.
I'm gonna let you guess. What sound would you think of? That's right, man. Nick knows what's up. My number 1 is Raptor. So you know me, man. This guy knows me right here.
That makes sense. He does love that game. You were very surprised. I
was very surprised.
I should have called that. Yeah, you're right.
Raptor is my number 1 because, and you'll be able to see a cover up here. I thought this was a cheap whatever game. I just, for no reason, I saw it in a store, in one of the stores right down by our house here, one day, and it was on like the discount table, and it just has this Raptor. It's not even a bad cover.
I actually like it,
It's just like, for whatever reason, I walked in, saw it on the discount thing, it said Raptor, and it's like this Raptor, and it's like, oh, so it's on the discount table because it's obviously some terrible ass game. Like,
fair assumption.
It's just like, oh, that's some cheap Jurassic Park, and I never gave another thought. Yeah. But it, whatever reason, stuck in my mind as like, that game must be hot garbage. Like, it just because like I made a snap judgment based on where it happened to be placed.
Yeah.
And
judging people from the part of town they live in, man.
I know. It totally was, man.
Ace hole over here, dude.
I'm happy to admit, like, I was wrong. It was wrong,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And so just like it always kind of stuck with me. I'm like, it must be some shit game. There must be some terrible game over there. And then at one point, Nick, we were at our game cafe, and like Roberto, as we call him, or Robert, suggested like Raptor because it's a 2-player game, and I was
Yes.
just like, oh man, I've heard, but no, that's some shitty game, man. Like that's that terrible game. I had no
That's
information.
some hot garbage.
Yeah,
game.
I was like, oh yes, I want terrible art and stuff. Like, why would we ever play that? We all know this is a terrible game. Like, we're all in agreement. And then you're just like, I've heard it's really good. And I'm like, it can't be. It must be an awful game. It was discounted. It was sold for less than MSRP. You know,
Yeah.
and then Nick's just like, no, it's like this abstract game, and like you play, it's like it's asymmetrical, and I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm not an art student. Like I'm not gonna play this hot garbage. And then we sat and played it, and I was just like, this hot garbage is delicious. I want to eat this. I was like, what? Why didn't no one tell me? And then I was home. I'm like, I could have bought that game for like half off. Had I known, no one told me. You know, and I was just so surprised by how much I love it, and like how interesting it is, like the system where you have powers and you're trying to play these cards, and like I want to play high when you play low, and vice versa, so I can get these abilities, and and like there's so much to it, and I was just like, it was just a humbling moment, where you, like you said, man, just like I made all these assumptions,
which happens,
zero information,
totally happens,
no information whatsoever,
yeah.
And I was just like mad at myself and happy to be like, you know what, man.
That's so. Now you mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, you were really surprised after we played that game.
It's just like there's no way it can be good. Can't be. It's named Raptor. You know what I mean? I had no reason. So yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised, happy to be humbled, learned a lesson.
Yeah.
You never judge a book, man. And yeah, so that's my number one, dude. Just straight up Raptor.
Yeah.
/ You've got crabs. If ever they make Raptors got crabs, I'm gonna buy the hell out of it, man. I'm gonna pay above list price.
That's right. I'll pay whatever money dollars you give.
Well, that's my number one, man.
Yeah,
Raptor.
that checks out. I do remember the when we started playing. You're just like a lot of this, kind of like, damn, all right. Just like you do love that game.
It's awesome.
Tomorrow, I like the game a lot, but you like it way more than me, and it's just like you love that game. That's true. We gotta play the game again.
So good.
The funny thing is like. He likes this game this much, and he's only ever played the humans. I've only ever played the Raptor. We've never switched. I
haven't even played half the game yet.
I know.
Which is awesome. I like it.
So interesting. Wow, okay, so that is the journey, baby.
You know what I'll say? There were some surprises on those lists.
There were
surprised at some of your lists.
I am
surprised at some of my lists.
astonished. I thought we were going to have like over half crossover. That's crazy. We only had 2.
Pretty impressive.
Wow, that's very surprising. I thought I was honestly worried this was going to be a boring list because it was going to be the same games over and over and over again.
Everything you wrote is like I'm like, yes, I was in a similar boat and stuff, and so it's just like, you know, you're very valid, all of your choices, and like I thought of a lot of them, and yeah, but it ended up being a lot of unique choices, which is cool, which is fun in a list.
That's great. That's what I want. That's the best part.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Please, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to our channel. Please share this video. We're trying to grow all the time, obviously. Yeah. And we really love doing these top 10. So if you like it, please let us know what top 10s you would like to see us do. Whether they're top 10, like, you know, we did top 10 cooperative games, whether something like that, or it's a very subjective list like this. Please let us know what you would like, and please, again, like and share this video.
Yeah, give us your biggest board game surprises in the comments below
as
well.
Please.
Like, what really, either you thought it was going to be terrible, or if it was a game that was like, oh, I thought it was this type of game, and it was actually this type of game. Whatever it is, put those in the comments below, folks.
Yes, please. All right. Awesome.
Nice.
Good times.
Also, if you want to see us stream any of these games, let us know. We will play them live for you.
Yeah, we stream on Twitch all the time. We will play
and you can say,
any of these games.
Bucko, you're getting those rules wrong. We'll be like, you right. You right. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next list. Thank you so much for sticking with us. As always, keep on Murphing on. Don't forget to let heart out there and dab on it once in a while.
That's right.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.
Cheers.
Woo!
Yeah.
If you click the subscribe button or any other videos right here, I will take cards from Baseball Highlights 24 and make them rain. Wait for it. It's happening. Oh! We're also sponsored by Restoration Games. Check out all the videos. Let that rain!